Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back. Um, this afternoon I had my first training session in Apeldoorn. A couple of weeks ago I was in Eindhoven with the car, but it was my first run out with the car and I'd never been there, and the track was absolute rubbish. There was no grip on the Saturday, and the Sunday morning I just decided I didn't want to participate in the race, so I didn't. So today I went to Apeldoorn. I just built a basic setup from the information I've got from Christoph and from Loris. They're running in Austria, and they run on a different tire. They run on a touring car TP Pro tire. No idea what that is. So it was a little bit unexpected what the car would do with the Ride ETS tires. I have to admit the car went absolutely great today. One of my main competitors from last year was Ben. He was there with his fronty this afternoon as well, and he managed to push out a 21.3, and I managed to knock out a 20.8. Obviously, we weren't on track at the same time, and the track was getting better every run. Was that a fair comparison? I don't know. We'll have to see next weekend when we're both on the track racing for the club race. But obviously, first impressions are awesome. What did I do? Okay, the chassis is just a standard setup. The roll centers are up with a standard 0.75, front and rear. The width of the car is middle, and roll bars I've got 1.0 at the front and a 1.4 at the rear. The springs are a 12.9 at the front and a 23.9 at the rear. I did want to try some different springs today, but obviously because of the weather, I only got 3-4 hours of running, so I didn't get a chance to. The track was really green, the first battery, so I didn't do any setup changes between the first and the second or the third battery. The last battery, I wanted to change the rear droop settings, but when I put the car on the track and went on the driver's stand, it started to rain, so I didn't get any running there. What I did do is I've been measuring the car like everybody else does with the droop on the droop blocks, measuring underneath the suspension arm. After a chat with Andreas, and obviously thinking about it, the front suspension and the rear suspension are exactly the same. The only difference we have is on the rear, we run a 1mm shim between the suspension arm and the hub. So what that does is actually, if you measure the droop at the bottom and you do some, we had 5.2 today, and Christoph runs 4.8, that will actually transfer to 0.8mm height difference between the axle heights, front and rear. What I'm used to is that the front droop, is a higher number than the rear. On the Iris, that's not so. So what I did today for the first run out is I screwed all these are now changed because I wanted to test it. I screwed these screws all the way in so that they weren't touching the suspension arm. I checked my droop underneath the suspension arms to make sure left and right was exactly the same. And I came out at a droop setting of about 4.2. And that went really, really well today. I need to test on Saturday when I'm at the track what this droop setting will do. And obviously I've only got 400 oil front and rear. It's quite thin apparently for the Iris shocks. Then it needs to be thicker. I just wanted to go with a base setup of what I know, and I know if I put 400 oil in normal shocks, it works really well. I don't know what it does here. It was great today. I do have the progressive springs in, 2 soft, the 3mm soft and the 5mm soft. So yeah, that's that. Ackerman was 4mm forward, and I'm running a steel battery holder here, and aluminium at the rear, because I did have weights glued to here, but this is about 20 grams heavier than the aluminium one, so that allowed me to remove the weights from here and from the battery to keep my balance correct. Yeah, yeah, what more? Caster was at 4 and 4 standard kit. If these screw lengths are the same length, the caster will be 4 and 4. So I left it alone. What I have done is I got a tip a couple of weeks ago from one of the guys, is to run the carbon piece upper and the ball down with a 1mm shim in. So I've done that today with 2 degrees of toe in at the rear, and the car felt really good. I'll do more testing next weekend, and I'll get back to you. It's just a short, quick video this weekend. I'll let you know next weekend how the club race goes. Any questions? Let me know. I'm on Facebook in the group, and also on YouTube. You can just send me questions. I'll try and answer them as quickly and as honestly as I can. Thanks for now. Bye bye.